Hey, Shalawam, ahchyam. It's the brother ahchyam from GMS Charlotte. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and salutations to all you brothers nationwide that's teaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalawam. Yeah, so I wanted to basically go into the fact that the prophets of old, the ancient prophets, described the nuclear missiles and the nuclear destruction, which is coming to America and around the world. And I wanted to kind of land back off of a picture that the brother Yahawah had posted up out of his study, King James Study Bible, describing the nuclear holocaust, if you will. And as you see on the screen, you have a nuclear warhead that's been shot that's getting ready to hit its target. And this is what's getting ready to come to America, man. Sooner than you think. All right, sooner than we know. All right. So here's the picture right here, and this is from 2 Peter 3:10. And I'll get the scripture in a second, but here down in the footnotes it says the day of the Lord here refers to the return of Yahawashi in judgment, not the rapture, since this day results in the final apocalyptic judgment. The heavens that shall pass away with a great noise are the atmospheric heavens. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. Certainly could refer to a nuclear holocaust. Okay, so that's what the prophets describe, and this is what the prophets see, man. And this is on point, man. This is where it talks about, which I'll get the scripture in a minute, but it says certainly could refer to a nuclear holocaust. Thus Peter urges his readers to look beyond this present world to a new heavens and a new earth. All right, let me get the scripture. All right, this is 2 Peter 3:10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. And the great noise is going to be when the nuclear missiles hit its targets, man. All right, the shock waves from the nuclear missiles is going to be felt all across the planet. Okay, it says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay, extreme heat. All right, and it says, the earth also and the works therein shall be burnt up. All right, this is the New Testament, man. This is future prophecy, man. It said the earth also and the works therein shall be burnt up. Okay, how is the earth going to be burnt up? Through thermonuclear missiles, man. These ICBM nuclear missiles that's going to be shot off from these different countries going to war in this upcoming World War III. You're going to have nuclear missiles being shot from Russia, China, Iran, India, all nations, man. So, verse 11, it says, seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for the hasting and the coming of the day of our power, when the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All right, so and that's what's coming, man. The elements, it said the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved. Okay, that's that extreme heat from that nuclear fallout. It said, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, man. Extreme heat. Okay, that's what's coming to America. All right, but the prophets, they describe, as I said, the prophets describe the nuclear destruction and the nuclear missiles, man. Okay, this is 2 Ezra 16:13. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. Okay, so this is not talking about an actual bow and arrow. Okay, this is talking about the nuclear missiles. They were described as arrows, man. In this verse, it said his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and they shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Right, because you're going to have, when World War III starts, this nuclear war pops off, you basically going to have these nations shooting their arrows, their nuclear missiles from all parts of the world, man. All right, and it showed you that in different scenes. It showed you that actually in Terminator 3, I believe, how they had all the different nuclear missiles being shot from all over the globe, hitting its targets, different lands. Okay, verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Okay, so these nuclear missiles, this nuclear destruction is part of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi's plagues that he's going to send on the earth. Verse 15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till they consume the foundation of the earth. And these missiles are going to consume the foundation of the earth. America, Babylon will be made totally desolate, man. Okay, from coast to coast, from the east coast to the west coast, from up north and to the south, the whole landmass of America will be obliterated. Okay, verse 16. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward. Even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. All right, so once these missiles get let off, once the Lord put the spirit on these nations to unleash these nuclear missiles, man, they're not going to return backwards, man. They're going to hit its target. Okay? Woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And nuclear destruction, that's the beginning of great death. Okay, because billions of people are going to die. A large percentage of the world's population is going to perish. And it said the beginning of wars, man. And this was going to happen when this World War III starts, man. This is prophecy. All right. This is Revelation 9, chapter 9, verse 17. It says, and I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone. Okay, so this was a description of those nuclear missiles, man. Those nuclear warheads. Okay, it said, and the heads of the horses were as heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Okay. All right, and that's the nuclear destruction, man. It's describing the destruction that's coming from these nuclear missiles, from these ICBM thermonuclear missiles. By these was the third part of men killed, by the fire, by the smoke, by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. Okay, so this is when those missiles are shot from from those launch sites, if you will. I can't think of the exact name, but when they launch these missiles from their sites, man, these missiles were described as heads of lions, and it said out of their mouths issue fire, smoke, and brimstone. Verse 18. By these three, verse 19. For the power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Okay, so these are all descriptions of these ICBM nuclear missiles. This is Revelation 6:12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell to the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Okay, and those stars of heaven represent the nuclear missiles that's going to come down and hit the earth. It says, "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places," man. So that's going into that nuclear fallout, man. It described that mushroom cloud that came up after those missiles hit, man. And it describes the power of these missiles when it says every mountain and island were moved out of their places, man. So that's powerful, man. That's straight up destruction, man. It said every mountain and island was moved out of their places, man. That's going to take some type of force to move every mountain and island out of its place. Okay? All right, so this is Isaiah 34:1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that there is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord, which is righteous anger, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury is upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of the carcasses, and their mountains shall be melted with blood. So the Lord is going to destroy all these nations' armies in this upcoming World War III by the way of ICBM nuclear missiles, man. Okay? The Lord is going to melt these nations, man. Verse 4, Salaki, it says, and the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And there it is again. It's describing that mushroom cloud after that nuclear fallout. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down, and a leaf falleth from the vine as a falling fig from the fig tree. Okay? So that's what's coming to this place. All right? That nuclear holocaust that was described in that study Bible and the image that I displayed at the beginning of the video, man. Okay? This is the prophets describe the nuclear missiles and this nuclear destruction that's coming. All right? So I just wanted to kind of touch on that briefly with the some of the videos that you see here, you know, that's displaying on the screen, just giving you a visual of what's to come. So with that, man, I hope brothers was edified. Until next time, say Shalawam.
The stream of X-rays, infrared rays, and gamma rays. This is referred to as thermal radiation and is visible to the naked eye in the form of a brilliant flash of light, lasting from 1 to 10 seconds.
It emits all of this X radiation that's absorbed by the air around it. The outside of the air is burning. It's forming basically smog. The nitrogen and the oxygen are reacting, turns brown, and so the light coming in actually goes down until that burns off, and then it goes up again.
The heat from the infrared rays will set people and buildings on fire. The X-rays will irradiate those closest to the explosion.
The X-rays don't get very far. They're absorbed by the air. The air is then heated up by these X-rays to millions of degrees.
The immense heat expands the air around the point of impact, creating a spherical shock wave and winds that can reach hundreds of miles per hour.
And if it were a humid day, you would be able to see that shock wave running along the ground and through the air, because it would cause instant condensation of moisture in the atmosphere, and you'd see sort of a white ghost of a shock wave traveling through the air.
The wind from the shock wave extinguishes the fires caused by the thermal radiation, but will flatten everything in its path within a radius of 2 miles.
You get the expansion out, but then the thermal plume of the bomb is rising. The mushroom cloud is forming. And so you'll get a counterflow, which when air flows up, it sucks things in, and so you get a reversal of the flow as things flow back toward the detonation center and rise.
A 1 megaton surface explosion will lift tons of soil up into the mushroom cloud, which will become irradiated and return as fallout. The heaviest fallout particles will rain down closest to ground zero. People exposed to this fallout will die in a matter of hours from acute radiation sickness. The smaller particles may travel thousands of miles, depending on wind velocity.
If you ingest the material and it stays in your body, the long-term impact is that it can produce significant excess cancer of various sorts.
The combination of thermal radiation, shockwave, and fallout could potentially kill millions, making the thermonuclear bomb easily the world's deadliest weapon. By 2004, the nuclear fraternity consisted of 7 countries that had all detonated nuclear devices. Other countries were desperately working toward joining the family. Thus, there appears to be no end in sight to nuclear proliferation, and no end to the threat of attack from the world's deadliest weapon. According to the Center for Defense Information, there are approximately 30,000 intact nuclear warheads worldwide. All but 200 are retained by the United States and Russia.